This bill would provide a pathway to earned citizenship for the 11 million individuals who are already in this country illegally. A pathway that includes passing a background check, learning English, paying taxes and a penalty, and then going to the back of the line behind everyone who's playing by the rules and trying to come here legally.
The President of the United States, ladies and gentlemen, actually talking about, use the word illegal in his radio address. I believe that was from last week. Welcome back. Steve Malzberg with you. We're joined once again by Dr. Carol Swain, professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University, author of Be the People, host of the TV show called Be the People, which you could see out in Tennessee. You could watch it online as well. Doctor, welcome back.
It's great to be back.
Well, thank you. All right, so we've had some, in my view, and I think in your view, disturbing occurrences with regard to the immigration reform effort, and that is that Haley Barbour, Jeb Bush have come forward recently and made comments. We've also had Kelly Ayotte, the senator from New Hampshire, who really sounded very uninformed in her comments, but all of them propping up this immigration reform, and I just don't get it.
Well, it's suicide for the Republican Party, but I think that they take their cues from the mainstream media, and the Democrats have painted the Republicans into a corner. And I can remember years ago when I was a Democrat, I used to think the Republicans were smarter and more sophisticated, but right now I think the intellectual advantage goes to the Democrats, their deception, and their agenda. And so they fallen. The Republicans are following the Democrats like the Pied Piper to their destruction.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And on every level, no matter how far they go on this bill, they'll be portrayed as the villains because, for instance, they won't allow Pat Leahy's amendment to be in there on homosexual immigrants and other amendments that won't be allowed in. And they'll be the Republicans will be blamed for everything, no matter what passes. So they'll be back to ground zero as or starting from scratch as the villain in all this. Plus, the people who come in are going to vote Democrat from day one. You know, when they get the chance to vote. So these are going to be tens of millions of new Democrat voters. So I don't understand it, but
it's about to me it's about destroying the country. And the Republicans, you know, they are so intimidated by political correctness. They're so afraid of being called racist, and they will be called racist for the foreseeable future. There's nothing they can do to change that. Over time there are things they can do to change it, but right now anything they do as far as voting for policies that are not in the interest of the American people just destroys the country. It does not change their image.
What do you make of Marco Rubio in all this? He seems to be, he's saying one thing when he was speaking to Telemundo and another thing when he's speaking in English, and he's going back and forth, and he's on board, he's not on board. I mean, it seems like depending on the day of the week, you never know what Marco Rubio is going to say.
Well, I mean, he duped the Tea Party. He was not he used the Tea Party to ride his way into office, and everything he's done since then strongly suggests that he was never on board with their values and principles. And I find, again, that Republicans, and bless their hearts, you know, that they really do reach out to minorities. And so when a black person or Hispanic comes along and they sound and talk right, they become the flavor of the month. And so I feel that people are so eager to jump behind someone. And so all you have to do is to punch their buttons, say the right thing, and all of a sudden everyone is swamping you. That's not happening to me, but I've observed it happening to other people.
Don't sell yourself short, that's for sure. But there are instances, you're right, where I mean, I don't know if Marco Rubio, certainly on this issue, he's been a big disappointment. And, you look at a Michael Steele, who also, had the overwhelming support of the Republican Party when he was running for the Senate from Maryland. It was called all kinds of vicious names by the left. And then he winds up as a commentator on MSNBC, very often trashing the Republican Party.
Well, I mean, look what he did to the Republican Party as their chairman. I mean, he was like almost, I won't say he was a Democratic plant, but I think that for Republicans, again, bless their hearts, they really do want to reach out to minorities. They're not racist, but in their eagerness to reach out to people, they get behind the wrong people, the wrong people. They're not behind me. They get behind the wrong people too fast, and they get duped.
Well, so where do you think we're going to go with this immigration bill? I mean, there's predictions it's going to pass the Senate. Do you agree?
I think it's going to be shoved down our throats and to the destruction of the American people because it's so flawed. It's flawed on so many different.
I know we got
levels.
we got 1,000 pages worth of flawed issues in there that it's like the health care bill. They don't even know what they're voting for. It's insane.
It's absolutely true. And the thing about it is, it would be, if you really wanted immigration legislation, which I do, you would take time and do the impact studies and look at how it's going to impact, the American workers and various groups, including the immigrants themselves.
Absolutely. Dr. Swain,
do it right.
thank you. I'm up against a hard break. Great talking to you, Dr. Carol